In this video, we will be telling you which of the two of these, the Arete 1 or the brand new to 2024 Arete 2, is the best. But what's it gonna be? Stick around and you'll find out right now. Stick around. Okie dokie. So, the Arete 1 or the Arete 2, what's gonna be best for you? I'm a poet! We're going to kick things off with various similarities as well as differences as we just go through the video. We've kind of structured it out to different things like the design, the internals, the top, the back, etc. like that, which we will all timestamp down in the description for you. But if you're already interested, they are for sale on our website, airconcentre.co.uk. Head on over, take a look, or stick around and find out which is best. So, if I pop this down on the Arete 2, you can see they are very similar, if not identical. So, as you can see, they both have a water indicator. They both have a nice rounded front. They have casters. If you turn it around, they both have the plug tidy, the cable tidy. They both have the sliding, if I can get it from this angle, dust filters, where you can put your HEPA filters. They both have the concave back, space for my head to talk to you about them. They both have the concave back, which is perfect for the British climate or where you have minimal space, because this will go up right against the wall and will do the exact same job just as well than other dehumidifiers. They both have the water buckets in the same style. Okay, that's now. Okay, which both have handles, specifically for the 20 and 25 litres. The 10 and the 12 don't come with handles, which leads me quite nicely on to the fact that both the Arete 1 and the 2 come in the same sizes, which is a 10 litre, a 12 litre, a 20 litre, and a 25 litre. And with the power of magic, I will show you. Magic! Magic is happening right now. Ta-da! This being the 10/12 litre size, specifically of the Arete 1. Looks just like the Arete 2 version, except from the top difference. I will use magic to get rid of it as well. Don't look here though. Magic, distraction, misdirection. Oh, it's gone. Amazing. All of the sizes are obviously similar. They all look roughly the same. They're perfect for their own situations. The 10 and the 12 are great for the 1-2 bedroom small houses, where the 20 and the 25 litre are great for the larger houses, the 3, 4, 5 bedroom houses. Now, for the sake of argument, because I'm going to forget which ones they are, we're going to go with the Arete 1 is going to be known as Juan, and the Arete 2 is going to be known as Hugh. Makes life much easier to reference them, because from here, they look so simple. And if I can see Juan and Hugh, it's going to be much simpler for me. Another similarity between the two are their tank sizes. So the 20 and the 25 versions have a 4.8 litre tank, which is this guy right here. The 10 and the 12, however, have a 2.5 litre tank, both across the 1 and the 2. And as I previously mentioned, the larger of them have a nice little carry handle too, because, you know, 4.8 litres of water is fairly weighty. 2.5, not too difficult. And while we're on to the tanks, they both indeed have their right-angled continuous drainage, which is stored just in there. You store it just there. And if you've seen our other videos, you already know that. And that lives right about there. Across all 4 different versions of this, that is the same. However, the one difference between the larger versions is that the larger version is compatible with Meco's own pump, which goes into the tank and pumps the water out for you. Instead of having to empty this manually or add a tube or anything like that, it will do that for you whenever it's needed. It's powered directly from the units, but that's only available on the 20 and the 25 versions. So as I mentioned, they both have the dust filter at the back, which slides on off. And this is actually where your HEPA filter goes. All of the Meco units come with a HEPA filter. So you've got the 10 and the 12 litre one here, but there's also the larger one here for the 20 and the 25s. And these just go straight in here. Obviously, take it out of its packaging. These go straight in here and that will slide straight on across. There you go. You're now purifying your air. Now, these should be changed every 6 months is probably a good ballpark to go with. However, check it regularly. Whenever you clean this, which you should be cleaning regularly as well, have a look. If the HEPA filter's gone kind of a grey colour, now's a good time to change it. We do sell those. Once again, shameless plug, airconcentre.co.uk. Check out the links down below. You can grab them and just replace them. And like I said, there's 2 different sizes, so make sure you are buying the correct size for your unit. Moving on to the internals of Hue and Huan. So they both use the R290 refrigerant. Doesn't cause any holes in the ozone layer, which is A-okay, that's great. We don't want holes up there. However, this is where we have kicking off outside. I didn't even hear that, but they're here to get you, cameraman. About time.
Tell me nobody can find out.
Well, however, we get to our first difference with the Arete 2. Now, the Arete 1 has an AC motor, which has 2 fan speeds. The Arete 2 now has a DC motor, a brushless DC motor, which gives you about another 50% more power, giving you a 3rd fan speed, but doesn't sacrifice any of the efficiency. And again, as I just mentioned, the Arete 1 has 2 fan speeds, whereas the Arete 2 has 3 fan speeds. And we'll explain a little bit later on why that's important and why a 3rd fan speed is a big deal. Now, those fan speeds lead me nicely onto the noise level differences between the units. The 10 and the 12 litre versions, which was the small one I showed you earlier, run between 35 and 38 decibels across its 2 basic fan speeds. However, the 20 and the 25 litre versions on their first 2 fan speed settings will run between 40 and 42. Then we have the Arete 2, which has its 3rd fan speed level, which runs at 44 decibels on the smaller version, so the 10 and 12, or about 50 decibels on the larger versions, the 20 and the 25 litre. That being said, those levels are still floating around the kind of level of your fridge or a stream, those kind of levels. They're nothing particularly booming, and you're not stood next to a generator. It's not that kind of level. It's a nice casual kind of hum. So with additional fan speeds, you'd expect it to need more power. But if that's what you were thinking, you actually might be wrong, because according to Meeko's spec sheets, the Arete 2 actually uses 5 to 10% less power. But in a real-term situation, for those of you that like numbers, it saves about half a penny per hour. So it's not a huge difference. The Arete 2 has a slight edge over the Arete 1. And with power comes great laundry mode. The Arete 1 and 2 have a one-touch laundry mode, which will enable you to air dry your clothes without having to use an expensive tumble dryer. And how that works is, once you turn it on, the Arete 1 will jump up into its 2nd speed, and the air will blow out of the top here while it extracts the water from the air / the clothes. But with the Arete 2, it jumps up into its 3rd fan speed level, giving you that extra power, kicking out that warm air just in the same manner, as well as extracting it. However, you obviously have the louvre here, so you can aim it, which in turn gives it the more powerful and precise laundry mode out of the 2. And with laundry mode brings me on to probably one of the more substantial differences between the 2 units, which is the tops. And I shall lower the table. There will always be one more time to doing this stupid joke. Here we have the tops of the 2 units. So already you can see there's a bit of a difference going on here. The Arete 1 uses buttons to change their settings. The Arete 2 has a nice touch screen on the top of it. So already, pretty big difference. They've modernized the whole top here and made it a lot more sort of flush, aesthetically pleasing, all of the above buzzwords to make it look a bit nicer. There's nothing wrong with the Arete 1 screen, but in comparison, it's kind of night and day. You've got clicky buttons or nice touchscreen that just looks good and obviously gives it a much more modern, sleeker look. I think the louvre as well, this kind of the great here is it's in here, but the louver, you can hide it. I mean, this is already a very premium unit, but it looks more premium, if that makes sense. It just looks sleeker, nicer, and far more modern, even though the body itself is the same. It's just the top is a lot more nicer and modern. Of course, I know I'm briefly kind of going over some of these features here, so if there's any particular feature that you're interested in, we have both an Arete 1 and Arete 2 featured sole video available on the channels there. There'll be links in the description and probably on screen as well if you want to follow any of those. But don't forget, while you're here, give us a like and subscribe and tick the bell and all those other things that YouTube makes you do nowadays. Go and do all of them because we just got over 100 subs. Yay! At least be excited. So moving swiftly on, the next thing that we're going to chat about is Wi-Fi/connectivity. So the One, unfortunately, has none of that. It has no Wi-Fi connectivity at all. It is what it is. You get it, does its thing, but you do it manually. This one is Meeko's smartest dehumidifier yet. It is built to work with the brand new Meeko app, which you can link it to your phone, and you can control everything via your phone. You can turn it on, you can change all of the settings, you can set up timers, you can turn off and on sleep modes and laundry modes and smart modes, all these other things. You can do it all on your phone. So if you are someone that really likes that ability, the Wi-Fi connectivity, being able to do it from a different location, you haven't even got to be in the same location, the Arete 2 will be that for you. It will do exactly that. But of course, with Wi-Fi connectivity also means that it's voice controlled as well. You can link your Amazon Alexa or your Google Home to the Meeko app, and then you can tell it to do stuff. So I could sit here and go, Alexa, turn on the dehumidifier. Or I could say, Alexa, play Toto Africa. How many of your Alexas play Toto Africa now? So yeah, Wi-Fi, no Wi-Fi. And with Wi-Fi, is almost like the word warranty, that it begins with a W. They both come with 5 years of warranty from Meeko themselves. They are very confident on both of these units. If you have any issues, you can contact Meeko. And finally, there's the price. Now, I imagine a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, with all these extras, it's going to be hundreds of pounds more, when actually, no. It's about 20 to 50 pounds more, depending on where you're getting it from and depending on which unit you're getting. Don't forget, there's 4. There's the 10, the 12, the 20, and the 25. So depending on which one you're getting, you're going to be looking at somewhere between 20 to 50 pound difference. If you wanted to have a look at the different prices, obviously check the links in the description below or go to airconcentre.co.uk and type them on in and see what you find. And obviously, if you are buying one of these, you want to make sure that it stays healthy. So ensure that you continue to clean that dust filter and replace your HEPA filter whenever it's either gone grey or it's been about 6 months. And we do sell them, so check the link again back in the description below or go to airconcentre.co.uk and type in Meeko HEPA. Have yourself a look, make sure you keep your unit nice and healthy. So here we go, conclusion time. Now ultimately, both of them are fantastic dehumidifiers and air purifiers. So statistics like power consumption, energy costs, tank sizes are all more or less the same between the two. So the thing that you have to determine is what out of all the features are the things that you want, and whether or not the additionals that the Arete 2 have are worth the money to you. If you want a dehumidifier which has more power and a very precise laundry mode, so I don't know, you might live in a flat or something like that where you can't do your laundry anywhere else, and this will be perfect. The Arete 2 will be perfect for you. If you want a smart dehumidifier, which you can control with your phone or through your voice, and you don't even have to be in the same building as it, the Arete 2 would be perfect for you. If you want a dehumidifier with a smart and attractive display, extra timers and monitoring modes, the Arete 2 would be perfect for you. But if you want a reliable and industry-leading dehumidifier at a cheaper price point, and none of those extra features really matter to you, then the Arete 1 is an absolute choice for you. So, if this video was helpful, please hit that like button. And if you have any additional questions, pop them in the comments below and we'll do our best to get back to you as soon as we can. If you have specific questions on kind of anything, we should be able to help you with it. Well, assuming it's relating to these 2 units. We don't need the live question. Ask your parents. Bulbs, birds and bees and all that stuff. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for when future videos come out. We've got loads in the works, plenty of stuff to come. But if there's anything in particular that you want to see, pop down in the comments and let us know. I'm not going to take both of these because I already have like 500 of them. So I'll see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. And they're available on airconcept.co.uk. Links in the description below. Check them out. Go. Go. Don't forget your HEPA filters and stuff.